Hey everybody, it is January 16th, 2019, and this is your boy, Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. I wanted to do a live stream because I have some information that I wanted to go through, a couple of articles, and to start it out, I wanted to go through a contractor. Let me get my stuff set up. I hope all you guys are doing okay. I hope you're finding ways to get comfort, to do things that are still fun in your life. And I need to turn off my TV. It's reflecting in my glasses. I guess I'm doing okay. My dad's birthday was today, and like since college, I could remember when his birthday was because like this Batman, the first Batman movie came on January 16th, and like I connected it in my mind, but I actually forgot my dad's birthday. It's like the first time I've ever done that. Thank God that my mom, actually sent me a text. Let me go ahead and get the screen up so I can see the chat. And last night I went out, just driving to do an errand. And I got a lot of vehicular stalking, but what y'all didn't see, and I need to put this video out, it's like a 2-minute video. Right when I got home, I parked right in front of a car that had one light, and the guy got out, like walked around his car and then left. So after this live stream, I'll go ahead and put that up. It was really just blatant in your face, and I think I'm going to label that 100% proof of gang stalking, But hey, everybody in the chat, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. 100%. And people will just kind of come in. Hey, Native Neuropterus. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I'm really tired, and my nervous system's pretty shaky, but I'm doing okay. And I wanted to put out some good information today to kind of to be doing something, to be working against this. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you finding some defenses that kind of help you out? Okay, well, y'all go ahead and chat in the chat room. I'm going to get started a little bit. I think first I wanted to show y'all another contractor. And remember, guys, that, I was talking about that convention that's going on from the 15th to the 18th. That's actually going on right now in Albuquerque. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the Albuquerque Hotel, the Directed Energy Professional Society is doing a convention about directed energy weapons, and the whole, like, the big thing that they're talking about is research and development and doing more research and development. So I wanted to start off. Let me share my screen. I got a bunch of other stuff like up on my computer, like I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, so I've got a bunch of windows with that, so I might have to be searching through this a little bit. Let's see where. Okay, here it is. So this is the page, the Directed Energy Professional Society corporate sponsors. And I wanted to go through another one, Ball Aerospace. And this is gonna this is a really is gonna, like, spark some stuff in our brain about connections with all this. Because I want to show y'all where they are located and who they are located by. Let's see, where was that? About Ball Aerospace. Okay, yeah, I went to search and then Directed Energy. And check this out. Albuquerque, New Mexico. So Ball Aerospace is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 2201 Buena Vista Southeast Suite 100 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Check this out. Check this out, guys. Our Albuquerque office, located near Kirtland Air Force Base, primarily supports the Air Force Research Laboratory's Directed Energy and Space Vehicle Directorates, the Office of the Secretary of Defense, and the Air Force. So it's just a proof positive of, you know, how closely these contractors are doing research and development, and supporting, you know, the Air Force Research Laboratory, you know. So what I think is going on is you have a lot of these contractors, and like this contractor supporting basically Air Force research, Air Force intelligence, and things like that. So they're contracted by the DoD through the Air Force. Some of these other contractors would be contracted through the DoD for the Navy, for naval intelligence, or they'd be contracted for Army intelligence. So that's why, you know, that's why a lot of our targeting is very different. Like, we're all going through similar things, but there's very different protocols because there's so many of these contractors, and they're working for specific arms of the DoD, working with these directed energy weapons and neuroweapons. Okay, and before I get started on the articles, I did want to show y'all this. Y'all need to watch this movie, and you can get it on YouTube. I just looked it up, and you can actually find it on YouTube. It's called Metropia. It's like a dystopian future where, you know, where everyone's surveilled. You know, they have V2K and things that can basically read the mind. And it's just, this is what I really consider predictive programming. This is like a movie that they put out, and maybe, you know, maybe the directors and the producers were trying to maybe give people a heads up about this stuff, but I see it more as predictive programming. All these things in movies that are about like V2K or mind control or anything like that are just trying to get the public used to it so they can do more of it, and people aren't going to freak out. You know, they'll be used to it by the time that it's just proliferated and taken over society, you know. But I'm not sure, like, you know, if I show movie clips, I don't mind if YouTube like demonetizes me, because I could care less about that. But I'm going to show 15 seconds at a time, because I don't want this video to be like hidden like my last one. I want it to be, you know, on my channel so people can find it. So I'm going to do about 15 seconds just to show y'all the, I guess the V2K in the movie. Now I'll talk about it. That's kind of hard to hear, guys. Sorry about that. But basically, the protagonist in the movie is thinking Anna. He's thinking about his girlfriend, and then the voice, the V2K, says, "What about Anna?" So it's like reading his inner voice. And you know, it's a you know, for me, my V2K comes from like the left or the right. It's directional, so it really sounds like the people, you know, on shift work or the chatterbox or whatever it is right now. You know, it sounds like they're like kind of behind the wall talking, and it's muffled. But in this movie, it shows it as like directly in the middle of his head, which I do think a lot of TIs get that kind of audible V2K. I don't want to show too much of the movie. I really do, because there's tons of parts in it about surveillance, and then it actually shows the guy. It shows the person who is you know, remote neural monitoring the protagonist and doing the V2K. It shows him at like this little kind of platform setup, and it's really dystopian, kind of steampunk like. So it's probably nothing like what our attackers, the platforms that they're on, but it is a representation of this stuff, and I find it you know, very, very I would just say that it's pretty much predictive programming, you know. Let me see. Well, I don't want to show too much of it because I don't want my video to get hidden. But you can get it on YouTube. So just look up Metropia. I would really recommend this movie. It's a very good example of predictive programming and trying to get society used to these ideas. And it has a lot of stuff about surveillance and targeting. So I'd really recommend it. I kind of wanted to show that other movie. And I can't remember the name. Which one? I wanted to do this Lund University article first. Control Factor. You know, Control Factor is another one that everybody needs to watch. And it's basically like it's a C movie. Like it's not even a B movie. It's so C movie, like almost it could just be on television, like on the Sci-Fi Channel. But it says so many things that are exactly what is happening. And I think that that is a, you know, a carefully laid out strategy to make like a B or a C movie have a lot of these truths in it. You know, so I think we've all heard of that movie. But I do want to go ahead and read this article. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I had to upload those videos where I was driving around. I tried uploading them on my computer, and my attackers stopped the upload at like 11%. So my attackers can stop me uploading videos from my phone to my computer, but they don't seem to be able to stop me from uploading videos that I make on the computer, which is good. So if I do go make any more of those, like in my car, I need to make them in 15-minute sections. But I mean, I'm telling you, I got home and there was like a pretty gangstified guy because he had his pants pulled down all the way under his butt. And like I got there and I just pulled out my camera and he could see that I had pulled out my camera. I mean, I'll put that video out right after this, but it was just blatant. Like his, I guess his right light from where he's sitting was on and then the other light's off. And he got out of the car. He walked around the car really suspiciously. And then another car drove up. He talked to that car and then they both drove off. And it was just gang stalking. It was gang stalking. But I'll show you all that later. Yeah, I need to take a drink of my cold drink right now. Okay, guys, so this is from Lund University Research Magazine. I guess it's you know, pretty you know, this is pretty much mainstream stuff. And they're talking about neuroweapons' place in a future war. Imagine being a soldier riding in a tank through a city in a war zone. Among the civilians and innocent private citizens, you are to distinguish potential threats and hostile combatants. Despite training and military experience, it is almost impossible to make the right decision in such a chaotic and incredibly stressful situation. The complex human brain is amazing in many ways, but like all systems, it is less than perfect, right? In recent years, people have started to take advantage of new advances in neuroscience and used it in the development of new weapons systems, explains Gregor Knoll, professor of public international law at Lund University, whose research focuses on the laws of war, refugee law, and human rights. And I want to stop there because in recent years, people have started to take advantage of new advances in neuroscience and used it in the development of new weapon systems. Now, logical, you know, and I've showed a lot of statements that people would say, yeah, that's true. Like that sentence is definitely true. It's a fact. And development of new weapon systems, how are they developing? How are they developing new neuro weapon systems? They have to use them on people. They have to experiment on people. So it's a one-to-one connection. If they are developing new weapon systems with neuroscience and neuro weapons, then they are experimenting on people. Then you got targeted individuals saying, somebody is remote neural monitoring me. They're doing weird stuff to my brain. They're sending frequencies that can make me angry, depressed, can cause pain in my body. So the public really has to start adding those things up, which I hope is happening. I hope that's happening right now. I hope it's happening more and more. And I think it is. He has specialized in the issue of the role of neuroweapons in future warfare and the potential problems they entail, legal issues, as well as dystopian visions of a future of apocalyptic dimensions. A key question he asks is whether the new weapon systems, if implemented and used in combat, are compatible with the laws of war and international humanitarian law. And I would say, well, I mean, I guess in war, if you really have an enemy that's trying to hurt you, I guess it would. I don't know. It's confusing to me because the way that they're using these weapons on innocent citizens is completely immoral. It's maybe the most immoral thing that humans have ever done in the world, to rape somebody's mind, to rape their mind and their nervous system. But that the U.S. Army and most other armies, like probably the English Army, the British Army, Australians Army, that they've used these weapons against others in wars. Like the Afghanistan war. I guarantee you they were using voice to skull. I guarantee you they were using through the wall surveillance and things like that. So I mean, I don't see why they can't. And those wars really weren't just wars anyway. So well, let me just keep reading. To illustrate the problem, we return to the soldiers in the tank. Gregor Knoll describes a system that today exists as a prototype. On the outside of the tank, several cameras have been installed that take pictures of the surroundings in all directions. The images are then processed in a computer program that filters out any non-essential components in the image. The images are then displayed at a very fast pace to the selected soldier. The images are displayed so fast that the soldier is unable to analyze them on a conscious level. Meanwhile, the soldier is wearing a shower cap with electrodes that sense the electrical currents flowing in different parts of the brain. Recognition: when the brain reacts to something the soldier finds familiar, generates specific neurological patterns which are detected by the computer program. When such a pattern is registered, the image that caused it is once again displayed to the soldier, who on a subconscious level recognized a potential threat. It's like using artificial intelligence to recognize things that the organic brain would maybe miss on a subconscious level. The role of neuroweapons in practical warfare would primarily be to streamline and improve the precision in target search, like a highly sophisticated telescopic sight where the human brain is connected to a computer, says Gregor Knoll. Now that's a very important thing, and this guy is professor. What's he a professor of? Gregor Knoll, professor of public international law at Lund University. So he's a professor of law at Lund University, and he knows about neuroweapons. He knows how they work. So like the role of neuroweapons in practical warfare would primarily be to streamline and improve the precision in target search. That's what they're doing. They're streamlining and improving precision in target search using targeted individuals, like a highly sophisticated telescopic sight where the human brain is connected to a computer, says Gregor Knoll. And that's exactly what they're doing to target individuals that are experiencing remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring, and manipulation of their nervous system and things like that, and their visual cortex and olfactory sense and everything. Pretty much every region of the brain can be affected. This could save resources and also make it easier for parties in combat to abide by the laws of war, which prohibit you from killing civilians and destroying hospitals and other civilian institutions, he explains. Isn't that a good thing? People under a lot of stress, like the soldiers in the tank, may not be the world's most reliable decision makers. A system that does not struggle with human irrationality and does not suffer from cognitive overload in the chaos that exists in the battlefield sounds like a good idea, but Gregor Knoll argues that it is not as simple as it sounds, and it's definitely right. It's not as simple as that. And what's this quote on the side? Unfortunately, the software and the system was not exactly sent down to the soldiers from a benevolent God, right? Because these people up at the top kind of, are playing God, messing with people's brains just to, make better weapons to hurt more people. And they are definitely not God, because God is good. God gives us free will and a beautiful world to do with as we wish. And this is the kind of crap that the people at the top who do not believe in God are doing. Unfortunately, the software in the system was not exactly sent down to the soldiers from a benevolent God, says Gregor Knoll. The computer programs are created by humans, and the development of the software is based on their perceptions of how people work, how war works, and how people work when in war, he continues. Everything depends on human decisions taken outside the actual battlefield, and these in turn depend on the conditions you program into the system, says Gregor Knoll, and continues. So it's like, I think that's a very important point. What they're doing now with AI, in this software, so we're being, I'm being targeted by remote neural manipulation. A lot of you guys are too. I think if you are a targeted individual getting hit with external microwaves, that you are being remote neural monitored and remote neural manipulated. I think that 100%. So what they're doing, they're creating this AI to respond negatively to everything that we think or do. And what does this do? It creates an AI that is negative, that is actually from Satan, from satanic beliefs, from evil beliefs. So, I mean, this could have gone either way, where they create this AI to do good things and to respond positively to thoughts and really help human beings, which I think maybe they're doing like 2% of that. But they're making an evil AI because the AI is only going to be what's programmed into it. Okay, so it continues. What worries me is that it's difficult to make anyone accountable. In traditional warfare, there's a clear hierarchical order in which the general gives orders and the private obeys. But if the private is connected to an advanced neuroweapon system, who is to be held accountable? It becomes difficult to determine where the line is drawn between human and machine. Is it possible to stay within the limits of the laws of war? According to a convention from 1977, a state in the process of acquiring new weapons must investigate whether these can be used within the boundaries of international humanitarian law. And I mean, that's ridiculous because, the military-industrial complex is murdering innocent citizens with microwave torture, directed energy weapons, neuroweapons, just completely torturing for years and years and years. So it's like you think the military-industrial complexes of every nation are going to be like, hey, you think these weapons can fall within the boundaries of international humanitarian law? I mean, they're way past that. They're in such evil land where they're, hooking up families to these bidirectional streams of energy and just playing, manipulating them like rag dolls. When it comes to neuroweapon systems, like the one described by Gregor Knoll, this is very difficult to determine. The conclusions drawn depend on whether or not you trust the system's decision making. And I do not. If they are programming AI to respond negatively and hurt people and torture them and do psychic driving with V2K and Chatterbox, that AI is going to be evil. I mean, it's going to be evil not to itself. It's just going to do what it's programmed, and what it's programmed to do is evil. Okay, so where was I? It becomes problematic when we, due to our own cognitive insufficiencies, attribute superiority that may not be justified to a computer program, says Gregor Knoll. and brings up another example concerning how we already today make important decisions based on the simple fact that we trust the technology. I don't know. It's not about the technology too. We trust the technology. Technology is neutral. Technology is completely neutral. It's the men who use it who are either evil or good. So, I mean, it's more about trusting people. And, nowadays, I think we could all say this, we don't trust our hierarchy. They don't see us as people, they see us as cattle. They see us as resources. They see us as actual resources to be used however they wish and to be justified if they need to, remote neural manipulate my nervous system for 2 decades. Then they're like, it's justified because the greater good, their greater good, not the greater good, but what evil people who will justify anything think is the greater good, making more money, more control, which are actually evil things. So the greater good for our hierarchy is actually evil. I don't know how it works when my computer tells me where to invest my money, but I trust that the people who wrote the program are wise. Likewise, the weapon system in our fictional tank is designed to make the soldier feel safe in knowing that the computer is making the right decision in a military operation. When will we reach the point where a person's ability to control the outcome of warfare using neuroweapon systems over time is so limited that it all comes down to trust? Asks Gregor Knoll and continues. And when we reach that point, has the power of decision-making been delegated by the person to the complex weapon systems, a process not necessarily detected even by the programmers themselves? So, I mean, that goes directly into, remote neural manipulation, of us being hooked up to this directed energy because they're, manually putting things into a software that the software then does over and over again and uses AI to do different things, to our brain and to our nervous system. And it's basically giving power over to a machine to torture us and kill us. There's definitely human interaction with the platforms, with the AI. There's definitely human interaction, but a lot of it, because those human beings aren't going to be sitting there manually doing everything all the time, it's giving complete power over to an inanimate object, AI, computer software, to torture and kill American citizens and citizens around the world. I'd say you cannot. Well, let me go on. Today's artificial intelligence has the capacity for deep learning, i.e., it develops and improves itself without the programmer's help. It's a bit like releasing a child into the world. We have no idea what the child will do, says Gregor Knoll. But I'd like to say something there. He says it's like releasing a child into the world, and we have no idea what the child will do, blah, blah, blah. It's not like that. If you have a kid and you teach that kid morals and to treat people well and to not do evil, that kid, you know what he's going to do. He's going to do the right thing. But when you teach a child to stab people, if you teach a child to hurt people, you teach a child to be evil, well, then you know what the child's going to do too. Because this AI is completely programmable. Even if it's learning by itself, it has been programmed to learn by itself. So they teach the AI how to learn by itself. So it's all programmable. Greg Knoll points out that this example illustrates in a good way the key issues surrounding the debate on singularity, that we are heading towards the point where humanity loses control of technology, which a singularity, that we are heading towards a point where humanity loses control of technology, which continues to develop itself, robots taking over the world. Is this pure science fiction or a possible future scenario? This and other issues will be discussed at the event The Dark Side of Neurotechnology. What are neuroweapons and are they lawful? Taking place during the Science Week, The Amazing Brain. The event will be held in Pufendorf Hall at the Faculty of Law on September 5th from 1600 hours to 1800 hours. I'm going to see if they have any video of that. it really, like, you know, one of the main people who works with neurotechnology and neuroweapons and neuroscience, and you know, is an advisor to the Pentagon and involved in all these brain initiatives, like in the UK now. That's been James Giordano. But what I'm really working on now is I'm really working on finding any events where they're talking about brain science or the use of neurotechnology or neuroweapons, and finding all those people that have dealt with this, like who use it, who are in, like who are, you know, advising for this program or doing the research and development. And we need to listen closely to those presentations. I'm not sure if that was this year, September 5th of this year. Okay, guys, so that's not it. I have another article, but I just wanted to check out in the chat room and see how you guys are doing. Hey, Desi B. Hey, Chapuizanta. Hey, Gary Lennon. How are you guys doing tonight? Yeah, Native Neuropterus. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just, you can play it forever because there's so much stuff to do, and it's like a full map. It's a full map of like the West, and then there's a city called Saint Denis, which is like New Orleans kind of. And you can do, like, you can fill all these hunting requests, you can get pelts, and it's just really awesome. It really keeps my mind off of this, and it's really cool too because you get these really cool horses. I've got like a white Arabian now, and you basically, you know, ride the horse through the, you know, through the countryside, and it makes me feel kind of like I'm outside, I'm in peaceful nature a little bit. You know, we got to go for what we can. Hey, Autumn, how are you doing? You know, Native, I'm gonna make you a moderator too. And you guys, Autumn and Native Neuropterus, let me see if I can find them. Just if somebody's being like really mean or hurting people's feelings or something like that, you know, just kick them out when they do that. All right, I got another article. There were a couple of things. I've still got some stuff up on deck, but I don't know. You getting Desi B? You getting some rest today? Good, good. Yeah, I mean, I slept last night. I put Dave Case's CD on. I got my Faraday bunker, put my grounding on, and it was an okay night. You know, it's still like I wake up with horrible headaches and just, you know, this part right here all tight because they're pulsing some pain through there. But once again, that middle, like the middle strap kind of fell down, and then my attackers, like I could feel pulsing pain through my leg, like through my calf and a little ways up to my hip. So really, like I'm telling you guys, this does stop. It's an artificial signal, bidirectional stream of energy. Then it goes down the nervous system. They're utilizing my vagus nerve to manipulate my nervous system. That signal, anything that's sending pain to your body or something to your body, has to go down to your extremity. So while it's going down, and that vagus nerve runs through the shin, so while it's running down, it's actually grounding out that artificial signal. It's really cool, but it was like this kind of slipped off, and so I was getting pain up my leg to my hip, but it wasn't going to my back. So it's really interesting to see how some of these defenses work, and so many things that we haven't figured out yet, you know, that are going to make us feel so much better. Like I truly believe that, you know, I truly believe there's a lot of hope for, you know, 2019 and on. So Desi B, you had really bad pain in your shoulder. It finally let up after 3 days. Yeah. Sorry about that. You might want to try the grounding. You know, guys, I know I've said this a million times, so I know y'all might get a little bit annoyed, but if you're experiencing remote neural manipulation, if you're experiencing pain in your nervous system, or like heart palpitations, or even like they make it hard for you to breathe a lot, please, please, please get Dave Case's CD. Just try it. Just try it for 2 weeks. I guarantee you will keep using it. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen again. Yeah, I was talking at the beginning of the video. It was my dad's birthday today, and like I always remember since freshman year in college, because before that I lived with my family, so everybody would talk about his birthday before it happened. But when I went off to college, like I set it in my mind, January 16th is my dad's birthday, and it coincided with this movie that was on, so it really helped me remember. I've never forgotten his birthday, and my mom had to call me, and I was like, oh my god, because you're going through all this like severe headaches for me, and my body's just like shaking this morning, and I'm like thinking about, oh, I got to eat, I want to make a video trying to kind of fight the targeting, and it just, things that we need to remember, kind of slip out. And I think it is a memory, kind of a memory wipe, from my attackers. So I'm going to go ahead and read this other article. Let's see. That's just, Ball Aerospace in Albuquerque, New Mexico, near Kirtland Air Force Base, primarily supports the Air Force Research Laboratory's Directed Energy and Space Vehicle Directorates. Let's go. I want to see. Let's go back. Yeah, I kind of want to do a little bit more about Ball Aerospace. Let's see. Electronic warfare. Ball Aerospace. Electronic warfare, protecting against threats, reducing vulnerability. Any action involving the use of the electromagnetic spectrum or directed energy to control the spectrum, attack an enemy or disrupt enemy assaults, attack an enemy or disrupt enemy assaults using the spectrum is considered electronic warfare. As an industry leader in radio frequencies, electro-optical, and infrared capabilities, we have an active and expanding series of programs that support the current and future electronic warfare needs of warfighters. We've leveraged our expertise in space-based optical systems, so that's satellite optical systems, low observable radio frequency apertures, and an expanding systems capability to cover current and future gaps in warfighter electronic warfare capability. So, I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, you go to these contractors, there's so many of them. There's so many contractors. And like I was saying earlier, this one is helping out the Air Force. It's working with Air Force research programs. You've got contractors that are, maybe generally just working for the DoD. And then you've got all these other little contractors that are, working for naval intelligence or Army intelligence. So that's why we have all these differences in what's happening to us. Some people don't have, audible V2K. Some people are gang stalked a lot more. Some people get a lot more remote, like active remote neural manipulation. Some people, the biggest problem in their targeting is chemical warfare, like chemicals, put into their home. Like I've had a little bit of the chemical stuff, but I know of targeted individuals who have said this, and it's hard for me to believe, but they're smart TIs, and so I trust them. They say that some of these attackers can do some kind of chemistry from afar, and I've got to research that more. I want to find some solid data on that about how that would happen. But they, these target individuals, they swear that that their attackers are remotely attacking them with directed energy, but can also work with chemicals that are already in their place and make them dangerous, or put a chemical. I think that this was done with me, where it would be a liquid toxin, and this was in the house that burnt down. They put a liquid toxin like around the house, and then I think that the remote directed energy weapon operators would shoot that liquid toxin to make it a gas, to make it gaseous. So these people are dealing with some very sophisticated technologies, but that's why there's so many differences, because they're working on different things, learning how to hurt people with different things. Contact Ball. Reach out to us if you would like to know more about our electronic warfare capabilities. Y'all want to write a little email to him? Yeah, I'll write an email. We should maybe, I mean, maybe we should start writing some little emails to these contractors and say, hey, I'm being murdered by directed energy weapons, and y'all are involved in this. You know, we have to contact a lot of people to get them helping us and on our side. Okay, so I'm going to go through this article. I guess I'm feeling bad today. I got a headache, but since I'm doing the live stream, I got a little bit of energy. So I don't know, even after this article, I'll come in the chat room and see what y'all want to do next. We can look up some other stuff. Maybe we can maybe research another contractor too. I know it's kind of boring. It like sometimes it gets really. It's like, okay, I'm looking into this contractor and blah blah blah. There's so many of them. We already know that, but it's like the feeling I get is we have to. It's like it's not good enough sometimes to tell people, hey, go read this or check this out. You actually have to like have it there and then read it to them. Almost sometimes you can't just give them the information, like even if you print it out, because they're not going to read it. So it's good to just read through all this stuff, show it so it will just smack people in the face and they will understand. Actually, maybe I'll look up control factor after this and show some clips from that. Kind of want to show some more clips from Metropy. I'm just worried that they're gonna make my video disappear. My channel is so screwed with, y'all. Like, other than my computer being completely hacked, I think they're like unsubscribing people from my channel. I think they mess with my subscription numbers. I think they like cut off a bunch of them. And then like if I put any kind of movie or song in any of my video, it's like copyright infringement, and they make the video disappear. It's happened to me so many times. So I think my attackers like have either, they have a connection inside of YouTube or something like that, or people are reporting me or something like that. But I know that my YouTube channel is not like, it's really whack. It's really whack. I know that they mess with my subscriber number. But that doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as people are watching my videos and getting the information, that's all good. Okay, weaponizing artificial intelligence. So I guess the theme today is artificial intelligence. These manned and unmanned systems, they are using programs that can be considered artificial intelligence. To even they manually program in things, but these AIs can even like learn from that and do more negative things, like that it's learning as it goes along. Weaponizing artificial intelligence, the scary prospect of AI-enabled terrorism. Bernard Marr. So this was from April 23rd, 2018. There's been much speculation about the power and dangers of artificial intelligence, but it's been primarily focused on what AI will do to our jobs in the very near future. Now there's discussion among tech leaders, governments, and journalists about how artificial intelligence is making lethal autonomous weapon systems possible. Artificial intelligence is making lethal autonomous weapons systems possible. So this is Forbes, guys. This is Forbes. This is not an alternative news magazine. This is Forbes. Okay. Okay. Artificial intelligence is making lethal autonomous weapons systems possible, and what could transpire if this technology falls into the hands of a rogue state or terrorist organization? Debates on the moral and legal implications of autonomous weapons have begun, and there are no easy answers. Autonomous weapons already developed. So Forbes knows that autonomous weapons are already developed. The United Nations recently discussed the use of autonomous weapons and the possibility to institute an international ban on killer robots. This debate comes on the heels of more than 100 leaders from the artificial intelligence community, including Tesla's Elon Musk and Alphabet's Mustafa Suleyman, warning that these weapons could lead to a third revolution in warfare. Although artificial intelligence has enabled improvements and efficiencies in many sectors of our economy, from entertainment to transportation to healthcare, when it comes to weaponized machines being able to function without intervention from humans, a lot of questions are raised. And I'll guarantee you guys that is definitely one thing that they probably have going on with our targeting, with our remote neural manipulation, with our attacks. They probably have some target individuals who it's totally autonomous. It's an AI running it, but then they have TIs who have shift workers, and then the AI is learning from those shift workers as the shift workers learn from the AI to make the AI more efficient in torture, and psychic driving and things like that. So, I guarantee you that is one of the angles of what they're working on with us, is trying to make better AI, and also basically mapping our brains. So if they can, map the centers of our brains, then they can actually, take that knowledge and make an AI with, decision-making skills of the brain and things like that. So scary, so scary. There are already a number of weapons. There are already a number of weapon systems with varying levels of human involvement that are actively being tested today. Let's read that again, because it's really important. From Forbes, there are already a number of weapon systems with varying levels of human involvement that are actively being tested today. In the UK, the Tyrannus drone, an unmanned combat aerial vehicle, is expected to be fully operational by 2030 and capable of replacing the human-piloted Tornado GR4 fighter planes that are part of the Royal Air Force's Future Offensive Air System. Other countries, including the United States and Russia, are developing robotic tanks that can operate autonomously or be remote controlled. The U.S. also has an autonomous warship that was launched in 2016. Although it's still in development, it's expected to have offensive capabilities, including anti-submarine weaponry. South Korea uses a Samsung SGR-A1 sentry gun that is supposedly capable of firing autonomously to police its border. While these weapons were developed to minimize the threat to human life in military conflicts, you don't need to be an avid sci-fi fan to make the leap to imagine how terrorist organizations can use these weapons for mass destruction. Warnings of AI and killer robots. The United States and Chinese military are testing the use of swarming drones, dozens of unmanned aircraft that can be sent to overwhelm enemy targets and can result in mass killings. I guess they're mostly talking about unmanned, drones that actually bomb people. They're not going so much into software they're using for neuroweapons and things like that. Maybe they will get into that later. Alvin Wilby, Vice President of Research at Thales, a French defense giant that supplies reconnaissance drones to the British Army, told the House of Lords Artificial Intelligence Committee that rogue states and terrorists will get their hands on lethal artificial intelligence in the very near future. Echoing the same sentiment is Noel Sharkey, Emeritus Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics at the University of Sheffield, who fears very bad copies of such weapons would get into the hands of terrorist groups. Not all agree that AI is all bad. In fact, its potential benefit to humanity is immense. And I feel like that's a scare tactic, like saying that some, terrorists in caves are going to get their hands on, really good AI systems and things like that. That's a way that these agencies and the DoD and, the military industrial complexes of other countries say, okay, well, these terrorists are going to be getting this stuff soon, so we got to perfect it so we can find what they're doing. We can find find their weapons and know what's going on. We've got to get ahead of them, basically. That's what the DoD and all these other military industrial complexes, they'd say, we've got to get out in front of these terrorists before they get these perfected weapons so that we won't get caught off guard by them, which is complete BS, because these terrorists don't have access to like technology, you know, like DARPA has and other agencies like that. AI can help fight terrorism. I guess this is like a propaganda article. Well, it's almost over. AI can help fight terrorism. On the other side of the AI spectrum, Facebook announced that it is using AI to find and remove terrorist content from its platform. Behind the scenes, Facebook uses image matching technology to identify and prevent photos and videos from known terrorists from popping up on other accounts. The company also suggested it could use machine learning algorithms to look for patterns in terrorist propaganda, so it could more swiftly remove it from the news feeds of others. These anti-terror efforts would extend to other platforms Facebook owns, including WhatsApp and Instagram. Facebook partnered with other tech companies, including Twitter, Microsoft, and YouTube, to create an industry database that documents the digital fingerprint of terrorist organizations. Humans pushed out of life and death decisions. The overwhelming concern from groups who wish to ban lethal autonomous weapons, such as the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots, is that if machines become fully autonomous, humans won't have a deciding role in the missions that kill. This creates a moral dilemma. And what if some evil regimes use lethal autonomous systems on their own people? Like the Pentagon, the DoD. That's really ironic. This creates a moral dilemma. What if some evil regimes use lethal autonomous systems on their own people? And that's happening to us. And you know, and the UK, and China, and Russia, and Israel, and Israel's number 2. Like Israel's number 2 in directed energy weapons proliferation. And I saw, well, let me finish up this article. As Mr. Willoughby stated, the AI genie is out of the bottle. As with other innovations, now that AI technology has begun to impact our world, we need to do our best to find ways to properly control it. If terrorist organizations wish to use AI for evil purposes, perhaps our best defense is an AI offense. And our best defense is an AI offense. No, but what I wanted to say was, you know, I read a comment. I might read this article. I don't know. I may save this one for later. I read a comment the other day on a targeted individual's video, and it was a targeted individual in Egypt who actually said that it was the Mossad who was attacking him, who was using directed energy weapons and remote neural manipulation and everything like that. So it's kind of weird how you know, Israel's number 2 in directed energy weapons technologies, and you know, I guess, you know, how advanced it is and everything like that. Yet they have such a small country. So I was thinking, you know, this guy in Egypt was saying the Mossad was, you know, using these weapons, and then you've got to think about Palestine. You got to think about the Palestinians and how, you know, Israel, you know, hates them so much and is, you know, just massacring a lot of them. They're probably using, you know, Palestinians, Egyptians, and people all around them to research with these weapons on. You know, so that's definitely something that I need to look into more. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look up control factor and show y'all some clips from that. And I think I want to just, I'll chance it. Hopefully they'll just demonetize my video. But I want to show y'all some more stuff from Atropia too. Let's go. Okay. Control factor. Oh, it gives the full movie. See if I can find a cool part in it. Oh, it shows it like on the back.
When's your wife online too? something. Do we only have sex 2.5 times a month?
No, y'all can't see this. I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit out of it right now. Trying to get into it, you know, trying to get into the flow. I gotta eat too. I woke up late today and I didn't eat anything. But hold on, I'm gonna show you all this. Okay, it's going on right now. Hold on. Share my screen. Screen share. Where is it? Where is it?
Only you knew what I know. Please don't shoot. It's too late for that now, Mr. Bishop.
So that guy is being targeted who's shooting him. Let's see if I can get.
He's crazy. He's a killer.
Okay, watch this. You know, the way that they associate this control, you know, this control factor, this targeting with immediately getting a gun is very absurd, disconcerting. Okay, so the V2K is talking to him right now. Let's go back.
I don't want to lose you. You're supposed to grow old and decrepit with me, mister.
And she is like an agent put into his life.
You do that now.
I know y'all probably can't hear this. Sorry about that, guys. Does the V2K telling him to find the gun? Okay, let's pass up this part. I want to find, there's a part where they use copper hats, like copper within, interweaved within hats to block the signal. Let's see if I can find some of these other cool parts.
What the hell's going on, man? Relax, you're okay. What do you think about babies with AIDS?
Would you like some more coffee?
I'd like to come back after work and rape you. Have a little quickie out back.
Free country?
Think so? Suppose I tossed that out of your hand and pulled out the U.S. Constitution. Wipe the floor with it. How would that strike you?
I better get some more juice.
So that was showing, like, y'all really need to watch this movie because it has a lot of like hidden gems of truth within this absurd C movie, or B movie. I don't know which one it is, but it's basically showing, they show that it has like the microwave towers are spreading a wideband signal over the city. And so it's like basically turning people into zombies. You know, it's turning them into zombies where they don't react right. And, you know, I think that that's a reality. I don't know. I guess we could prove that. But I think that wideband signals are going out from these microwave towers to make people more lethargic, to make, you know, to make them less aware and less, more compliant and things like that. I really do think that that's actually happening. Now, proving that would be, I think it'd be pretty hard. I want to find the part where the guy lays it all out. The scientist explains the whole plot. Let's see if I can find it. maybe earlier on.
Seems that the resolve of a man is no stronger than the neurons firing in his brain. What is your status? A robbery. A robbery.
I might need to prepare some scenes and get the timestamps and everything so I can show y'all in another video.
Major power transmission network. There's one on every block.
Okay, let's watch that.
Yeah. So what was going down, Joel?
Apparently there isn't enough evil in the world, so my wife invented a new flavor.
She's really a part of it.
Whatever it is.
That's what I was trying to find you before. There's more to Constantine's notes than you saw. I guess there's a phase 2 on the way.
2. Because 1 wasn't enough.
I guess you were the dry run.
Mass behavioral modification. I don't get it.
Neither did I. I couldn't figure it out either, man. And then I looked up. Cell phone towers. Major power transmission network. There's one on every block. They can control the whole city.
It'd really be microwave towers. Okay, let me see if I can find that part because it's a really, I'm not sure if it's at the beginning or at the end.
You and your posse will suffer the consequences. You just saw for yourself how easy it was to get them to follow you to certain death.
Must be close to the beginning.
You are no different. Potential little electrical impulses.
Here it is. Okay.
Welcome to the Valley of the Beast. Sharks and... Show me how to work. Nosebleed. Maybe you can see it too. Come on. Man burned hours and hours and stuff. Sometimes he talked about it, sometimes he didn't. I didn't always know what he meant, but I did know he was on something. Mr. Bishop, Lance Bishop. Make this quick, Mr. Bishop. Constantine said it was like diving into the deep waters. Welcome to the Valley of the Beast. Sharks and beast waters. Swallow you whole.
My name is Trevor Constantine. I'm was a psychologist working for the military. I had to quit. I had no choice. Not when I realized what I was part of. The American people have been kept in the dark about the true scientific progress in this country. Technologies of mass control exist that the public would never dream of. I know, because I helped develop them. They call it psychotronic warfare.
So he says, the government is made, mass mind control techniques. They call it psychotronic warfare.
The research program dealing with mind control. These bastards have finally decoded the human brain. Every emotion, every thought that we experience, they produce evoked potentials, little electrical.
And he says evoke potential. They produce evoke potential, like so they can tell what you're going to do from your emotions.
Impulses firing the brain. These spooks developed a weapon. They lock onto those impulses, read them, and then control them remotely. They can control everything a person does. Voices. That's how they get you. The spooks have developed a technology called synthetic telepathy. They beam a frequency at you. Let your skeleton conduct the voices like an antenna. Sounds like ghosts inside of you. They've targeted individuals for experimentation.
They've targeted individuals for experimentation. So it's so weird in this B movie, and they do kind of some of it is a little bit out there. Well, it's way a lot of it's way out there, but a lot of this stuff is really what they are doing, because they show one part where they actually like take somebody's memory, they like inject something and pull it out, And I don't think that, you know, with our targeting, it's like that. So they show some things that are truly sci-fi, but then they're also putting this truth interlaid within it. Evoke potentials, you know, mass mind control, you know, locking on to somebody's emotion, locking on to, you know, their brain frequency. And these are all very, very real things that targeted individuals go through. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this movie.
That's what you're going to make these people do. I'm talking about the manipulation of human behavior. Our emotions are just electrical patterns on a computer, and they can transmit new ones to us. Whatever they want us to feel, we'll feel. And I found out where they're getting these patterns from. So I moved in here. You can't study the sharks if you don't get in the water. Locking on target. They're using the ghetto like a laboratory, teaching on raw human existence, recording every miserable emotion for some godforsaken data bank that they can beam back at the rest of us.
See, and I don't think they stop people and then put headgear on them and suck out memories or anything like that. Like this, like it'll show it right here. This is sci-fi right here. But I have experienced, like I've experienced dreams where they had nothing to do with me. It was not my dream. It didn't come from my brain, and it didn't have, like, emotions came along with that dream. And it's almost like they recorded a dream out of somebody's head and then just used the frequency and put it directly into my visual cortex, and also the emotions too. So this has a little bit of truth in it with the taking out memories and then putting them somewhere else.
They've implanted transmitters into the brains of these people. They can record the best and worst of their hellish existence. When the transmitters are full, they come into a sweep. Or they take the full transmitter, replace it with a blank one, start all over again. These people never even know what hit them. Domestic black ops. Illegal as hell. This isn't the elected government. This is the national security empire, man.
National security empire. I think that's a good way to say it. Yeah, and he said something else before that was important, but I forgot it.
I damn well want to see
You cheating liar!
I hope my video doesn't get striked for that.
Inside out here, protect our emotions. See, they ain't gonna take my rage. God. Recording emotions? Yeah, David. They don't think of us as people, man. To them, we're just ghetto trash, swallowing our own garbage. He tried to kill me. He said I was part of an experiment. Maybe he knew you were having thoughts. You know, thoughts they took from us. Maybe he was just doing you a favor.
I'm getting closer. I think his name is Bishop. I don't know if I can get to him in time. He's their next target. He cannot be allowed to fail.
Okay, I might find some other clips and have them ready for another video. I just don't want them to completely hide my video because I'm showing clips from movies. They do that to me. So many other people. Okay, I do want to show y'all one thing from Metropia. If I can find it. Okay, show this part. So this is the guy that is actually doing the V2K to him, and he's at this kind of like little remote station. It's probably not at all, you know, it probably doesn't look anything at all like what the remote stations that our attackers are at.
Well, that's easy for you to say. Why can't?
Okay, there he is. See, and he's monitoring what he sees. He's monitoring what he sees. He's monitoring his inner voice, and then he can interact with him.
You don't know the truth. She is a virus.
What's he saying?
What?
Employee.
A virus, Roger.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of stuff. Listen, we better.
Roger. Where are you going?
All right, guys. I may get some more specific clips from some movies. I really want to do that, but I really am worried that I'm just going to do that video and they're going to immediately delete it. So, embed a page on this, and will end if you continue. Oh, there we go. It's already done it to me. Okay, so this might totally be hidden. Just because how does it pick that up so fast that I'm playing a YouTube video? Great. All right. All right, guys. Well, this video may only be you guys who see it. Hey, thanks, Native Neuropterus. Thank you, Autumn. Thank all you guys for coming tonight. I'll be putting out some more information soon and going over some more contractors just so we understand the relationship between these contractors and the DoD, the arms of the DoD that they're working for, and just trying to get some more concrete evidence out there. I think that's going to kind of wrap it up tonight. You guys, like I said, you guys, maybe the people who watch the live stream, may be the only ones to see it. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing, man? I haven't heard from you in like 2 years. Jeff, email me. Do you still have my number? Hey, Invincible. Yeah, Jeff, if you still have my number, give me a call, man. But yeah, I was playing Metropia, some parts from Metropia and Control Factor. It immediately picked, like Google Hangouts immediately picked up on it that I was playing those clips, and it's saying that it would like shut down the video. Okay, do you have my email, Jeff? Can you email me at vulcanwolverine@gmail.com, and then I'll send you my number? Yeah, Jeff, just email me vulcanwolverine@gmail.com. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I hope that this goes out. Like, I hope that they don't completely censor the video because I showed video clips. Everybody else does it. Like, I don't get it. I see YouTube videos where they take whole movies and like play clips from them, you know, from the actual movie, not just on YouTube. And then, you know, they go out, they can advertise and everything, but mine, it gets hit right when I show any type of movie or something like I can play music, and they don't usually copyright me for that, but, or they don't usually copyright strike me for that, but I guess we'll see, man. Yeah, Jeff, send me an email, man. I want to talk to you. I want to know how you're doing. All right, guys, I love y'all. Thank you for coming, and more information to come, y'all. I just wanted to make a quick video tonight going over some articles that I had found. All right, I love you guys. I just hope you're doing, you know, decent. I hope you're doing decent. And this year, man, I think I feel change. I feel good change. So let's keep hope alive and keep fighting. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.